Hi everyone, this is Jenny. Welcome to my channel again. Today we'll be talking about money. Money for school, meaning financial aid. So if you're not aware of it already, the first thing, you apply to schools. The second thing is you fill out an application online called FAFSA. And I always forget what this stands for, but let me look it up. So it's Free Application for Federal Student Aid. With that completed, you'll be able to figure out what you qualify and what you don't qualify, which is what we'll be talking about today, all the different options and money that you can get from schools, loans, whatever it is. So first thing is grants. Grants is first come, first serve basis. So that's why everybody, even your counselors, everybody would recommend for you to finish your FAFSA as soon as possible. Before the deadline, you don't want to do it after the deadline because grants, it's money that comes first come, first serve basis, like I said before. There's different types of grants. There's quite a few, but I kind of want to talk about two different ones. The federal Pell Grant, which is given to students with financial need, meaning when they fill out the FAFSA, they put in their parents' income information, and seeing that, they will recommend to get the Pell Grant. There's another grant called the Teach Grant, which is you're committing for, after you graduate, you're committing 4 years to teach in the underserved communities, either middle school, elementary school, high school. And specifically, I don't know too much about that because I didn't get it, but I did get the Pell Grant when I was going to school, and it was quite a bit amount of money. And what they would do is they'd be like, this is how much you get for the Pell Grant, and then the school will distribute it within either the semester or the quarter. So you don't get the money, the school will get the money, and they will distribute it to your tuition, school, all your school needs. So there are things as need-based versus merit-based in all these things, including the grants. And so once you finish the FAFSA, you will know what you qualify from there. So the next thing is scholarships. I don't know if you've heard scholarship. As long as you qualify, depending on each scholarship, they tell you certain requirements or criteria that you need to be able to have in order to apply and qualify for it. So as long as you qualify, you're automatically in to be able to get that scholarship. The one thing I would say that I didn't do when I was going to school, and I wish I did, was apply to as many scholarships as possible. I was just really lazy and I didn't do it, and I wish I did because then I would have had more money, potentially more money. And yeah, you have to apply to a lot, but hey, $1,000, $500, like some of them even give you like 10 grand. This is free money. You wouldn't be getting anywhere else. So always look up online different scholarship websites, apply to as many as you can. I would recommend it. The more money, the merrier. Along with scholarships, if you get recruited to a school, there are athletic scholarships. So you kind of have to discuss that with your coach or whoever is involved with that. Every school is very different with their scholarships. So you have to figure out, not every school will give you the same amount of money if you're being recruited for an athletic scholarship. The next thing is student loans. So there's different criteria. There's student loans. In the student loans, there is federal and private. Federal means you owe the government money, and private is you're owing either a bank or financial institution money. The big difference between them. So for the federal, one of the pros to get a federal is you could potentially get it forgiven if you commit to work with underserved areas, such as a FQHC, which is a federally qualified health clinic. Another good thing about the federal is that they have an option, an income repayment plan, meaning depending on how much you make is how much you give. So say 1 year you graduate school and you're getting very low income, not what you expected, you can let them know, like giving them your pay stubs, let them know this is how much I'm making, and from there they'll just charge you a certain amount. So I know for me, at the beginning when I was just graduated school, I'm not getting paid so little, but comparable to what I owe, it's very little. So then I would send send my pay stubs, and they were charged me very little amount that I just kind of minuscule that didn't worry me too much. So that's one of their pros. So for a private loan, you can potentially get more money in loans. So for federal, they give you a certain amount, but for private, they can give you even more. Say you're applying by yourself or your parents are applying for you for the private loan. If they have excellent or you have excellent credit, your possibility is that you can have a lower interest rate compared to the federal. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the federal is about 4.25, something like that right now. You could probably get it underneath that. Please don't quote me on it. I think it's between 4 or 6% right now. Within the federal loans, there's a few different types of loans that you can get. There's a subsidized, direct subsidized, and grad student plus. The subsidized is the one you want to start with, which means you're getting this money loan, but the interest isn't running until you are done with school, completely done with school. So think about this. You go to undergrad, you go to grad school, you do residency, and there has been no interest accruing during that time. That's good. Now the unsubsidized, once you get that loan money out, the interest is accruing. So say you got the unsubsidized undergrad, you go to grad school, you go to residency, it has been accruing all that time. So if you do end up getting an unsubsidized in undergrad, I would recommend you start paying at least a little bit off so there's not so much of accruement during the time you're still in school. Now the direct plus loan, the direct student plus loan is for graduate students. And it's a certain type of loan only graduate students can get, and the interest is much higher than the subsidized and the unsubsidized. Now with the private loan, most of the time if you're underage, very young, don't have really good credit, you would need a co-signer, and you would want to get a co-signer that has really good credit, either your parents or family member, just so that you can get the best interest rate and a larger amount of money. There is that, and then there's also the parent loan, so that the parent is going to get the loan for you to go to school instead of you getting the loan. With private loans, every financial institution is very different, so always read the fine print. Always verify that the percentage is fixed. You don't want to have percentage that can fluctuate with time. Okay, now another thing is work study or working while you're going to college. So work study, you're working in college campus,